There is a moment most people forget. Before the lawsuits, before the Senate hearings, before the billions of dollars, there was just a 19-year-old kid in a Harvard dorm room who wanted to build something. And what he built would eventually change democracy, fuel revolutions, destroy mental health, and make him one of the most powerful men alive. This is the story of Facebook, and it is not the story you think you know. And this Mark Zuckerberg was not the most charismatic person in the room. He was awkward, intensely focused, and genuinely obsessed with systems. He believed human relationships could be organized like code, clean, logical, scalable. That belief would drive everything that came next. In 2004, he launched a platform from his dorm room that was originally only available to Harvard students. Within weeks, it spread to other universities. Within months, the world was paying attention. Within years, it had absorbed the social fabric of modern civilization. The early growth of Facebook was nothing short of staggering. By 2008, it had over 100 million users. By 2012, that number hit 1 billion. By 2020, nearly 3 billion people were using its family of apps every single month. To put that in perspective, that is more than the combined population of China and the United States multiplied by 4. No single entity in human history had ever connected that many minds at the same time. Not a religion, not a government, not a media empire. Facebook did it in under 2 decades. But here is where the story gets complicated. Because the same qualities that made Facebook unstoppable also made it dangerous. The platform was built on a simple but powerful idea. Give people what they want. Show them content that triggers a reaction. Keep them scrolling. And the most powerful trigger of all, it turns out, is not joy. It is outrage. Anger keeps people on the platform longer than happiness does. Fear drives more clicks than inspiration. Division is more engaging than unity. Facebook's algorithm did not create human nature, but it found the darkest corners of it and turned up the volume. The Cambridge Analytica scandal cracked the surface open in 2018. It was revealed that the personal data of approximately 87 million Facebook users had been harvested without their knowledge and used to build psychological profiles for political advertising. Turned out great. And for this. These profiles were then allegedly used to influence voting behavior in major elections, including the 2016 United States presidential race and the Brexit referendum in the United Kingdom. The world suddenly understood something it had been ignoring for years. Your Facebook activity was never just your social life. It was a commodity being bought and sold by people you had never heard of, for purposes you never agreed to. Zuckerberg was called before Congress. He sat in that hearing room in a suit that somehow looked borrowed, and answered questions from senators who clearly did not fully understand the technology they were interrogating. It was a strange kind of theater, the most powerful data company on Earth being questioned by people who were not entirely sure what a cookie was. He remained calm. He apologized. And then Facebook continued doing what it had always done, because the machine had become too large to stop, too embedded in daily life, too intertwined with advertising revenue that funded everything from small businesses to political campaigns. Pulling Facebook apart would not be like breaking up a monopoly. It would be like trying to remove oxygen from the atmosphere, and the damage kept accumulating. Researchers studying teenage mental health found alarming correlations between heavy social media use and rising rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness, particularly among young girls. Former Facebook employees began speaking out, describing internal research that the company allegedly conducted and then buried. Research suggesting the platform knew it was harmful and chose growth over well-being. Frances Haugen, a product manager turned whistleblower, brought internal documents to the public in 2021 that intensified these allegations and triggered a new wave of global scrutiny. In Myanmar, Facebook's platform was used to spread anti-Rohingya hate speech that human rights organizations have linked to ethnic cleansing. In the Philippines, it became a vehicle for state-sponsored disinformation. In the United States, it played a documented role in organizing the events of January 6, 2021. In country after country, the platform meant to connect people was being used to divide them, manipulate them, and in the worst cases, help incite violence against them. Zuckerberg's response to criticism has always followed a similar pattern. Acknowledge the problem, announce new measures, pivot to the next vision. First, it was privacy controls, then content moderation teams, then a Supreme Court-style oversight board, then the Metaverse, then AI tools. Each announcement buying time, each pivot reframing the narrative. Whether this represents genuine reform or masterful reputation management depends on who you ask and how generous you are feeling. And this one, What cannot be disputed is the scale of what one person built. Mark Zuckerberg is not simply a tech entrepreneur. He controls one of the most sophisticated information architectures ever constructed. He decides what 2.5 billion people see when they open their phones each morning. He shapes political conversations, consumer behavior, emotional states, and cultural values on a planetary scale. No elected official, no broadcaster, no publisher has ever held that kind of reach. And that is the question that haunts the entire story. Should any single person hold that much power? Not because Zuckerberg is uniquely evil, he is not, but because systems built to maximize engagement at all costs will always eventually maximize the wrong things. Because platforms that profit from division will always struggle to genuinely fight it.